Diablo 4, one of the greatest disappointments of my entire life. And now the new class has been potentially leaked. And let me tell you something, okay? After not playing the two new classes, the Spiritborn, because, well, believe it or not, the trope of the spiritually enlightened and attuned aboriginal people that are better than everyone else for no reason did not seem interesting at all for me. And the Paladin is an insult to my intelligence because Blizzard made it that even an autistic 3-year-old could pilot that thing to rank 1 without any problems because it was just that broken and that straightforward, okay? If Diablo 4 has a skill twig issue, the Paladin is just a goddamn straight line because it's impossible to get anything wrong there. And now we have the new class getting leaked. Is it gonna be a witch? Is it gonna be something? Well, actually, if it's a witch, I will probably play it. But, I mean, what are the chances that Blizzard does anything good at this point, right?
If you've been waiting for real Diablo updates, this is the week. The 30th anniversary spotlight is days away, and Blizzard is teasing major news across Diablo 4, Diablo Immortal, and even Diablo 2 Resurrected. The second D4
Diablo Immortal, the pay-to-win cash grab game, unironically, is still better than Diablo 4. It gets better events, it gets special stuff, it gets bigger content updates, it gets better content updates. The fact that Diablo 4 is still this ginormous pile of shit, and Diablo Immortal, a mobile game, is absolutely clearing it like there's no tomorrow, is probably the biggest insult and the reason why you should never play another Blizzard game ever again.
Expansion class leaked this week with an image of a buff Blood Mage He-Man. The Season 12 test server launched this week, and it's kinda whatever, but maybe hiding some spice? Also, Overwatch 2 is getting
Blood Mage sounds unrealistic because the Necro already has a blood tree.
Tude and Ashes of Creation just flat out collapsed. Hey folks, this is Riker, and I dig into ARPG and gaming news so that you can spend more time playing games. Timestamps below to skip ahead to different topics. But before we move on, a quick word from this video's sponsor, Punishing Grey Raven, which
no one cares.
Starting with Diablo news, we've got the 30th anniversary spotlight happening on February 11th. It'll be live streamed on Twitch at 2 p.m. PST. Rest assured that I will be covering that, and it is said to include major updates for Diablo 4, Diablo Immortal, and surprisingly, Diablo 2 Resurrected. There will be a new class.
Okay, Diablo 2 Resurrected actually sounds good because that's ironically a good game actually. And the things that they have added are very sparse and few in between, but they are actually good. They are actually fun and interesting and good. So that there is definitely that.
Class reveal for Diablo Immortal, the reveal of the second class coming to Diablo 4's Lord of Hatred expansion, as well as an in-depth look at the new skill tree and new endgame system in Diablo 4. While talking about this, they also showed images of the new Horadric Cube and the talisman system for set items, so I bet we're going to be hearing about those mechanics as well. Plus, on the following...
Okay, so is this going to be the Horadric Cube I predicted? Dude, I have predicted almost everything that happens in Diablo 4. The goblins, the everything, because it's not hard. They're just copying Diablo 3 into Diablo 4 and cutting it even in smaller chunks than Diablo 3 got. And the Horadric Cube was something I predicted more than a year and a half ago. And I was always pissed because that still didn't happen, but that has to happen. And it's finally happening. Now, at this point, I'm not even sure if it's going to be the same Horadric Cube that Diablo 3 had. I think it should be. I think it should be the exact same cube where you can put in an legendary passive in it. Because the reality is, with all the unique items, you can't actually get the legendary passives in it any longer for a lot of classes where you would like them. So you kind of need that. Or maybe you want a mythic rare passive in there or something like that. But then again, it should be a cube copy from Diablo 3, which is extremely disappointing, needless to say.
Day, the 12th, there will be a live Q&A with the D4 devs on the Sanctuary Discord server. Now, it's not clear what Diablo 2 topics will be covered, but they did say major updates for all 3 games. Personally, I'd love to see mod support coming to D2, even unofficial, like, Classic D2 has. We currently have some great mods running for Classic D2. It'd be great if we can see them in D2R.
True. If you don't know, Diablo 2 is absolutely wild with the mods. The biggest one is obviously Medi and Excel. That is a complete rework of the game, and it's really, really amazing, I'm not gonna lie. I have played it for, I don't know how many tens of hours. Not in the hundreds, I think. Maybe in the hundreds, I don't know. But I have played it a lot. That thing is real good, okay? Very, very, everything has changed. Ultimate abilities, there's so much cool shit. And then you have Diablo, Path of Diablo, which is a big one. I don't know what the new stuff it has now. I haven't played it for years at this point, but that was a thing. So the modding scene in Diablo 2 is actually pretty good, as strange as it sounds.
I've seen one theory that we'll be getting a Darkening of Tristram style event in D2R, like a Diablo 1 remade in D2R. Given it is Diablo 1's 30th anniversary, that's honestly a pretty good guess. You use D2R's assets to remake Tristram, the 16-level dungeon, and you play through it with D2 monsters and D2 classes. It's a relatively low effort versus the payoff kind of thing. It would make me log in and play. And from the 11th to the 25th, you'll also be able to earn a Diablo Twitch badge by watching streams in the Diablo 4 category. For instance, you can watch my stream. I stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on Twitch starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. Now, speculation on what the second class for Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred will be has basically come to an end now, due to a combination of data mining and a little oopsie by Blizzard. You see, if you log into this week's test server for Season 12, and you have not pre-purchased Lord of Hatred, then you get a splash screen showing buff Blood Mage He-Man over here alongside the Paladin. Now, debates about...
Yeah, this is really strange, because this has to be the new class, but the Necro already has blood, so this seems like an extreme overlap. Now, granted, I don't honestly, when I look at this, I don't exactly think this is blood. It kind of looks like more like a Blood Knight, or a Blood Cultist, or something like that, or it's just the color of curse. Could be just the color of curses, honestly, because I honestly want something to do with curse. If that is the witch and it has curse shit, I'm actually gonna play. Okay, I'm actually gonna play. Boys, I'm logging in. I'm not even joking. I'm actually gonna log. Yeah, everyone knows that that's probably still not happening. Anyway,
about whether this was AI generated or not were put to rest when Redditor Annihilation posted a video that he recorded from his phone. Clever way of removing all doubt. Then, as people began to speculate on what the hell this class is, data mine strings were found that had the word Warlock. Now, that said, Blizzard sometimes uses either
that's good
placeholder names or internal working names for things. It may end up being called a Diabolist or a Cultist or a Demonologist or a Blood Mage or who knows, but it could also just be a Warlock. At this point, we're just days away from finding out for sure, and whatever it is, it looks like no class I've ever...
By the way, you know what's my favorite stupid fantasy trope? It's whenever you have, for example, World of Warcraft is a great example of this. You have the Warlock, and you can take the power of demons and summon them to fight for you. And then this fucking nobody who summons an imp kills Archimonde. It's one of the stupidest things in fantasy ever, okay? There's someone who uses the abilities of your enemy and then low tier garbage and then goes on and kills the biggest and baddest of that thing that you're taking power from. It's great. It's so stupid.
Seen before, so that's pretty cool. Whether it is a known name or not, this is a take I have not seen. As for the Season 12 test server, well, after trying it out this week, it's pretty underwhelming. Definitely will not top Season 11 as the best season of D4. The theme is kill streaks, with a new modifier on items that can drop, making them bloodied items. And these bloodied items have bloodied affixes, which do things based on your kill streak.
Wasn't there already something like that in Diablo 3?
It's a neat idea, but it means that these items are useless against bosses. And I wonder how maintaining kill streaks will work out in Helltides when you have sorcerers blitzing across the screen, killing everything before you have a chance to tag them and keep your kill streak going. Back in Diablo 3, maintaining massacre bonuses in a party required coordination, because if your party members would not let you tag enemies before they killed them, then you would lose your massacre bonus. And massacre bonus leveling in Diablo 3 was actually a lot of fun, because you get this nice satisfying chunk of XP after a good massacre bonus. But while leveling...
I'm not gonna lie, I hated that shit. It was so annoying. It forced you to play in a certain way. It made the game into a zoomer fest. It was ass.
In the D4 PTR, the kill streak XP just wasn't good enough to feel fun. Now that's something that I hope they can buff, right? That's a simple fix. I hope they buff it to the same degree that we had the mass.
Also, these numbers, I honestly think they kind of put into perspective how absolutely dull the game is. Because look at this, we have already in a matter of like 5 seconds seen him kill what, 80 mobs or something like that. It feels so hollow.
Massacre bonus leveling in Diablo 3. That would be a nice way of shaking up the 1 to 60 leveling for Season 12. And given it's going to be a shorter season, why the hell not? Now, one thing I do like about the Bloodied items is that it seems the Bloodied affixes seem to stack with each other. I didn't realize this at first, but, you know, separately, the bonuses are pretty tepid, these affixes. But if you get 3 items with the same Bloodied affix, well, you know, the stacking effect starts to become interesting. I'm not going to get hyped for 7% move speed per kill streak level.
Now, if you're a necromancer, you should, but that's a different story.
But 3 times that? Yeah, that's getting pretty cool. Also, there's Bloodied sigils. So for Nightmare Dungeons, Infernal Hordes, Lair bosses, basically any activity that has a key, that key can drop as a Bloodied sigil, which is going to have increased difficulty, roughly 1 torment level higher. And there's a butcher in there that just constantly hunts you. If you kill him, he respawns. There's just always a butcher on you. And of course, this kind of dungeon...
Wow, that is so interesting, said literally no one.
Has more rewards than normal. So it's nothing groundbreaking, but it's like a nice little preview of the reward juicing mechanics that we're probably going to be getting in Lord of Hatred. Now, altogether, there are 2 saving graces for Season 12. And the first...
Are there any?
...is what I just said before. It seems like this will be a shorter than usual season. The blog post describes...
When the saving grace for your game is the fact that you need to play it less, you know things are going real bad.
Describes Season 12 as, quote, a more focused, streamlined season that supports our broader roadmap.
I don't know how you can even more streamline Diablo 4, honestly, at this point. It just does not seem like a real thing that can honestly happen. It's just, how?
Toward launch of the Lord of Hatred expansion on April 28th. Focused and streamlined is PR speak for shorter and smaller. And the implication seems to be that the season ends when Lord of Hatred launches. And since Season 11 ends on March 10th, that basically means Season 12 is just about half the duration of a normal season. So, shorter, kind of a filler season before Lord of Hatred. I'm fine with that. I've seen...
Have we had something that's not filler in this game?
Some people say that they'd rather have no season or just extend Season 11. I would rather have the smaller Season 12.
Oh, also, didn't the devs confirm that the only good thing that they have ever implemented in the game, aka the super slamming, is going away because they don't want to keep it? Did that not get confirmed?
Gonna get me to come back, play for a few days. Definitely not play as long as a normal season, but if they don't do anything, or if they just extend Season 11, then I'm not gonna come back and play at all. So I'd rather come back and play a bit than not at all. And for those who would rather know Season 12, well, Season 12 will be the most skippable season of D4 yet. Now, the second saving grace is that the test server is just a preview of the foundation of the season, as per the blog post, with more surprise features to be revealed closer to launch. And we can only speculate on what those features may be, but the blog post mentions a new Butcher Lair boss fight, which was not on the test server. Also, some people found a way to access the season rank user interface, and that name drops a bunch of new things as objectives, like kill monsters as the Butcher. That sounds pretty neat, so maybe these surprise features will actually be pretty hype. Also on the test server was the big nerf to Paladins that we all knew was coming. The Castle Legendary Paragon node, in which you would stack armor, and that would translate into a damage multiplier of over 1,000% more damage. They didn't just nerf it, but they actually reworked how it functions in order to discourage the armor stacking tactic altogether. The node is still good, they didn't kill it.
This is what I hate about Diablo 4, okay? Everything before was I just dislike it, but this was just literal hatred, okay? Like, why the fuck do you introduce something, and then you're like, oh, people like this, and then you're like, how do we discourage people from doing the thing that we actually put into the game? Like, it happens every single time. Like, why do they do it? They add something, people like it, and Blizzard is like, can't have that, okay? Remember when a necromancer could teleport because of the rune? Blizzard literally saw people doing it, and it took them less than a day to remove that from the game because, oh, that's not allowed. Meanwhile, the sorceress is blitzing 5 screens while the necromancer slowly waddles his fucking crankety ass 1 screen. The barbarian has leaped through 15 fucking games while you clear a dungeon. Let's not even talk about the Spiritborn. The Spiritborn's already exiting the galaxy. God, why? Why did they ruin everything? It's so stupid.
You're going to average getting about 100% more damage from it, which still makes it really strong. It's just not insanely overpowered anymore. So going from 1,000% more damage to just 100% more damage, that's going to translate to a power drop across all Paladin builds of about 15 pit levels, which would bring the Paladin in line in power with other classes. This is a rough estimate, but I'm guessing Paladin will remain S tier, or at worst, it'll drop down to A tier in Season 12. They've also buffed some other Paladin skills to compensate. And another thing to keep in mind is that without the armor stacking tactic, right now that it's no longer worth stacking all this armor, you can get the 100% extra armor very easily now without really trying. So we're not going to be going out of our way to stack a ton of armor on Paladins anymore. That means we can now fit more.
Look at this great game design, by the way. If you're confused on what's going on the screen, Riker is doing the dungeon. He got to the place where you're supposed to fill in at this bar right here, collect Animus from Animus carriers, and he's like, oh, did I miss an Animus carrier? Or did I just not pick up the shitty fucking little orbs that they drop? And now he needs to backtrack through the whole dungeon because fucking reasons. That's great game design, Blizzard. And this is never gonna probably change. Like, I can't. I can't. PathFXL, like, how does this even work, honestly? Someone needs to explain this to me because I'm just stumped. PathFXL is a good game, and it just gives you a map. It doesn't give you an objective. It's like just, okay, here's a map. You can clear it. You can just rush straight through the boss. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Diablo 4, though, needs to give you a thing. Why? Why? Why does Diablo 4 need to give you an objective on everything that you do? It's so stupid. Oh, God.
Damage multipliers into our builds where we normally would be taking armor.
He found the Animus, boys. Look at that. That little orb. Is that it?
We would be taking armor. So we're going to be making back some of the lost power. Altogether, I don't think this guy...
Oh, no. That was just a small piece. He's probably missing like 4 more, boys. Exciting gameplay. Again, PathFXL doesn't need to do this. Diablo 4, for some stupid reason, needs this. Like, what? Did they think that players would not figure out how to finish the dungeon? That they need to go forward in it? Like, what exactly is the point of this? It's so disappointing. Again, like, everything Blizzard does typically is just an insult to players' intelligences. That's why I think classic World of Warcrafts are the only thing that really is interesting to people, because those things don't insult your intelligence. Okay, they treat you as a human for the most part, at least.
Falling for Paladins. Meanwhile, Lunar Awakening is returning. It'll run from February 12th to the 26th. That's the Lunar New Year event, and it's featuring reskins of the past year's cosmetics. I mean, free is
And he still hasn't found it.
free. Not going to complain about that. They're not making a huge deal about the event, and it's just been nice this season that there's always some kind of event going on. In Diablo adjacent,
I mean, honestly, yeah, that's just peak fucking Diablo 4. The fact that this is the footage that Riker chose for while he was yapping is fucking crazy, honestly. Anyway, Diablo 4 is garbage. Everyone knew that. Nothing really new on that front. Anyway, 10 out of 10, that was Riker. Bye!